that, you know, we were aware of that.
Right, well look, Kirsty, good luck.
Thank you.
Night 1 of 8. See you
Very
again
excited.
soon. All right, thank you very much
Julian.
indeed. Kirsty from Interactive.
Thank you.
Now, we're also running a fantastic competition whilst the Most Haunted Live 8-night special is going on right up to Halloween, and every night there's a separate set of prizes and a chance to win big cash money as well. So listen out for the competition at the end of this part. Now, Most Haunted Live has always been about the fans, believe me, and we want you to make an even bigger part of Most Haunted Live this time round, and the audience are going to get involved as well. And I'm delighted to say that 2 viewers got involved in the investigation last night, and joining me on stage now, please give it up for Carl Beattie, for our paranormal investigator Phil Wyman, and for Helen as well. Evening, guys. How are you? Good to see you. I mean, Carl, the show has always been about the audience, but this is a little bit different this time, isn't it? Because more's going to go on for the audience here.
Yeah, I mean, we've really concerted our efforts into making the audience much more a part of this whole investigation, and especially here in the Winter Gardens, is you couldn't get a better place for the audience to constantly be involved. And last night we kind of stepped right out of our usual remit. We started before we actually came on air, and we took Helen and Emma with us, and obviously under the charge of Phil Wyman here, known to everybody, and it was a very, very exciting night.
Yeah. And what's it like? I mean, Helen, just coming to you, I mean, this was, we ought to say, Emma, your friend's going to be on the phone in just a few moments' time. I mean, was this quite a scary night for you last night, to say the least?
Well, to be honest, yeah, I mean, you didn't know what to expect. I mean, you just go in there and you just think, right, okay, let's just go with it. And to be fair, as it progressed, it did get a bit more frightening near the bottom end of the stage we went to. So.
Right, we shall see in a moment how it all went. I mean, Phil, what about your role in the show, and how did you get involved?
Carl's always asking me to get back involved with the show. I've always been a bit busy, but this time I'm here, so I'm delighted to be here. And we took, as you say, 2 special guests down underneath the very stage we're sat on to see what we could find out.
Yeah, I mean, Carl, finding the right location, I know you were saying to Paul Airy, is crucial for this show, and like at Denby a year ago. I mean, you're very passionate about going to the right places that have a story to tell.
Yeah, I mean, we're always trying to get underneath the fabric of wherever we are, and we're not just interested in finding what everybody else knows about, which you can find on the internet and all of that. We're trying to get deeper under that and the negative part of the fabric of each society. And if you look deep enough, you can find some pretty nasty things that have gone on. Denby was very special, and I think Liverpool was fantastic. But I think we've gone further than we've ever gone before with this live, and I think it has all the makings of the best live ever. And the fact that we've got, you know, Phil, who's a veteran of hundreds of investigations, and to take us down last night was it was an honour for Stuart and I to go down there, and certainly with Helen and Emma, and it was a great night. It really was.
Now we're going to talk to Emma in a few moments' time. Helen, how do you think it went for her?
How do you
think it went for her last night?
Well, I think she really enjoyed it, so she went off with Carl to the other end, so I don't really know what happened down there. So
it was that particular point when we walked off, because Phil decided to have a good idea and said, well, because we were seeing things and feeling things, he said, well, why don't you guys go down there? So we did, and which thanks for that, Phil.
Yeah, well done, Phil.
But the problem is what you don't understand is when you get away from the rest of the team, there is the safety in a group in a way, and when you split up, you start doubting yourself and your ability to be able to do this sometimes. And we got down there, and Emma was just saying it's getting colder, and it was so quick though. It was something that wasn't right, and you just wanted to get out of there.
Let's have a look. This is a first to have the audience going out on an investigation in the location the night before the live show. So let's have a look and see what happens.
If there's anybody down here with us, can you please give us a sign that you're here? Come as close as you can to our circle, please. We very much welcome your communication attempts. Do you know?
I could have sworn something moved there.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I saw a line, again, down there on the floor. Now, I'm not sure if it's some kind of white paper or something standing out, but literally about a second before Carl did the kind of jump. Was that you?
Not me, I've moved just here.
It wasn't from Carl.
Well, this is me.
No, it's further away.
It was back there.
Yeah, don't worry, you sit there, I'll go and have a look.
Do you want to take one of the girls down with you? If the girls want to come.
I'll go if you want.
Yeah.
How are you feeling now?
Very uneasy over here. Very uneasy over here.
What's that?
Something there. There's something there. That?
You tell us.
No clue.
Come on, do something again for us. Be trying. We do appreciate your attempts. There's no here. Try a little bit harder. I know we keep asking.
What the hell was that?
We were up here
Making sure no one came
and
outside.
there was nobody on that stage at all from you going down there to you coming up now. This is concrete floor.
No, it was directly above us, wasn't
Definitely
it?
on wood.
Yeah.
It was someone walking across the wooden stage.
Very good, very good. I think we ought to talk to Emma, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Let's get her on the line. Hi, Emma.
Hi,
Well done.
thank you.
Very good. What was it like for you?
Scary.
Yeah, and we ought to say you and Helen are good friends, aren't you?
We only actually met last night, but we've become really good friends.
And we've got a bit of bad line, but I'm vaguely hearing what you're saying, because you both come from Blackpool, don't you, Helen?
Yeah.
Yeah. And are you both, I mean, are you an open-minded sceptic or open-minded? How do you define it?
I'm open-minded. I just, to see what happens. That's what I went with. So.
Right. Emma, what about you?
I'm very open-minded.
Right, so this is interesting. A little bit of a difference of opinion between the two of you on that. I mean, Carl, taking members of the audience on vigils is always interesting because, I mean, you don't know how they're going to react, anything's going to happen to them. I mean, it's an unknown quantity, isn't it?
It's what we constantly want to do. We've always wanted to take more members of the audience with us because you get their reactions, and it's strange that it's great when you come off of the other side of the investigation and you talk to them, and they say, well, you know, we heard the knocks, or we heard the noises like we did on that, and they can say that. Well, when they see it on the television, we say, oh, it's coming from over there, or it's coming from over there. They're actually there, and they say it was coming from a place where nobody was. And it's great because it validates everything you do, and it's great to do it. But what you don't see on that is that we were there for almost an hour, and yeah, we've cut that down into a couple of minutes. And there were so many other things. I mean, we all saw this light, didn't we? That we didn't catch on camera, sadly, and that's one of those annoying things.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that both Helen and Emma saw this light, as I did, and we explained exactly where this light went. Unfortunately, we didn't catch it on camera, but it's that sad anomaly that when something happens, you don't catch it. Yeah. But we all saw it.
Well, look,
Sorry, do you know what? I say one of the strangest things with the footsteps, because at one point they were so obvious. I actually stopped mid-sentence of what I was talking about, just to say, well, we'll wait for those to go across. And when we came back up on stage, we were guaranteed nobody had been on the stage area.
That's what Tom was talking about, the guy at the end. He was actually saying no one was on the stage.
The other thing is, don't you think the tension rises because you've got members of the public with you? Because it's different people doing it each time and they're experiencing new things.
Yeah, I mean, it always helps because you feed off of the energy that we all have. But I have to say, with something like this, I mean, I don't know if you can hear it, but the wind is picking up outside. I can hear it from sitting here next to you, and I'm scared anyway about doing this. And you know, from last night, it just builds that excitement, I guess.
Now,
fear.
we're using members of the audience actually in the auditorium here as well to get involved in the investigation, because we've got 25 cameras, haven't we, here, which is amazing.
We've got more cameras now than we've ever had before on an investigation.
Well, look, let's find out more about that. Phil, you're hanging around for more later in the show, so I look forward to that. Helen and Emma on the phone, thank you very much indeed. And, of course, Carl, thank you very much. Give them a big round of applause, please. So, Carl mentioned those 25 cameras. Paul is in the audience with some audience members who are going to be looking at the webcams for us. Let's go over to him now.